Hello everybody, I'm Sreejani from Grade 5 NPS KRM and today I'm going to the bank manager to speak about online security.
I met a person there who faced phishing. So I approached him. Excuse me, sir, what happened? You look very worried.
I think due to my mistake, I have lost 20,000 rupees. I just checked my bank account in the ATM and 20,000 rupees have been debited from my account. Without Actually, yesterday I received a phone call from a person who said he was from the bank. Account was out of KYC and I will receive an OTP. Came to him to carry forward last year's KYC. So I did that which I shouldn't have, and I think he used it to unscrupulously debit money from my account.
So sorry sir, but I think that you have been a victim of a voice-based phishing and I think that you need to follow up with the actual bank because usually phishing has a lot of impacts.
Let's see what I can do. I am following up.
So, as you saw, this unfortunate person has been a victim of phishing, where the fraudster actually fooled him because of KYC and asked for an OTP, which actually holds data. And using this OTP, he conducted fraudulent activities and debited 20,000 rupees from his account. Now we understand how important is online security, and now let's look at some other online security tips. Phishing is a type of fraud that involves stealing personal information such as customer ID, IPIN, credit debit card number, card expiry date, CVV number, etc. through emails that appear to be from a legitimate source, say concerned bank. Nowadays, phishers also use phone, voice phishing, and SMS, smishing. Fraudsters pose as bank officials and send fake emails to customers asking them to urgently verify or update their account information by clicking on a link in the email. Clicking on the link diverts the customer to a fake website that looks like an official bank website with a web form to fill in his or her personal information. Phishing solutions. We should do the following to ensure we are not compromised by a phishing attack. Verify the URL of the web page. The S at the end of HTTPS stands for secure, meaning the page is secured with an encryption. Most fake web addresses start with HTTP. Beware of such websites. Phishing or voice based phishing is an attempt where fraudsters try to seek personal information such as CVV, OTP, customer ID, etc. And now, during these pandemic times, these fraudster attacks have become even more common. The fraudster poses as an employee from the bank or the government and asks for personal information. After such information are collected, fraudulent activities and offensive activities are conducted. Phishing. This is one of the most common forms of online fraud today, targeting often gullible people and senior citizens. Phishing or voice based phishing is an attempt where fraudsters try to seek your personal information like customer ID, net banking password, ATM PIN, OTP, card expiry date, CVV. Phishing solutions. How to protect oneself from phishing. We should not fall for this phone call based deception. We should never share any personal information like customer ID, ATM PIN, OTP, etc. over the phone, SMS, or email. When we receive a phishing call, we should inform the bank on the phone banking number. Smishing. This involves phishing through SMS message, and the risk is it's not possible to block some of these messages. Smishing is a type of SMS based scam. In this type of fraud, the scamster uses mobile phone text messages to lure victims into calling back on a fraudulent phone numbers, visiting fraudulent websites, or downloading malicious content via phone or Smishing solutions. How to protect oneself from smishing fraud. Never share your personal information or financial information via SMS, call, or email. Do not follow the instructions as mentioned in SMS sent from untrusted source. Delete such SMS instantly. The cases of wishing, smishing, phishing, and other forms of attacks have greatly increased during COVID times, and the unscrupulous elements are devising new ways to dupe the individual. Now, let us see the different types of online fraud which we should be aware of. Example, phishing, wishing, smishing, UPI fraud, identity theft, card fraud, etc. And how to make ourselves secure against the same. Example, through preventive measures, proper passwords, not to share OTP, UPI PIN, ATM PIN, and other critical information. Following these, we can win the battle against online fraud, which has become all the more important during these COVID times. Credit card fraud is a common online fraud scenario as most financial transactions, either online or offline today, are done using credit cards. Do you know that credit and debit card details can be captured by unscrupulous software and websites from your phone or computer? They can get details like card number, name on card, expiry date, and sometimes also the CVV. Online fraud and UPI safety. UPI payments are extremely common now. UPI or Unified Payments Interface is an immediate real time payment system that helps in instantly transferring the funds between two bank accounts through a mobile platform. Fraudsters can send you unauthorized payment links via SMS. These fake bank URLs will look almost identical to the original URL. If in a hurry you click on the link, it will direct you to the UPI payment app installed on your phone and will ask you to select any of the apps for auto debit. Once you give permission, the amount will get debited from the UPI app instantly. Multi-factor authentication (MFA). MFA, sometimes referred to as two-factor authentication or 2FA, is a security enhancement that allows you to present two pieces of evidence: your credentials. Password strategy. We should ensure we use proper process and security tips for password and use a password strategy to prevent online fraud. Don't use predictable password such as date of birth or close one's name. Use a mix of alphabets, numbers, uppercase, lowercase, and special characters. Memorize your passwords. Don't write it down. When you receive your card PIN, change it immediately. A few days ago, my grandfather called us and told that he had received a call from his bank informing that his pension account needed KYC details to be updated, otherwise, he won't be able to receive any more pension in his account. There would be an OTP communicated to his phone, and he needed to communicate the same to the caller in order to carry forward the previous KYC. My grandfather, being worried that his government pension might be stopped, actually told the caller the OTP, and soon 10,000 rupees was deducted from his account as the caller was actually a fraudster. I told my grandfather that unfortunately he had become a victim of a type of phishing. People process technology (PPT). People, be very aware so that we don't fall in the trap of social engineering. Process. We have to follow the proper secure process to tackle online frauds and ensure that fraudsters are not able to get the better of us. Technology. Technology is a key enabler in preventing online fraud, and nowadays, through artificial intelligence and machine learning. People process technology, or PPT for short, are the three pillars for security. Thank you everyone for joining me today on this informative session on the types of online fraud and how to prevent them. I really hope that these security tips will help you in the future. Thank you.